Hello dear friends. In our previous videos, we have discussed about the external features of Scoliodon, its digestive system, respiratory system, structure of heart and brain. In this video, we are going to discuss about the male urinogenital system and female reproductive system of Scoliodon. So let's start from what is urinogenital system. This urinogenital system is made up of from two words, urino and genital. Urino means excretory and genital means reproductive. In the case of vertebrates, both excretory and reproductive systems are very closely related with each other. And that's why we study both this topic in urinogenital system. The Scoliodon sexes are separate, means there is different male and female individual. And Scoliodon shows sexual dimorphism, means we can able to easily identify between male Scoliodon and female Scoliodon. As we know, in the case of male Scoliodon, a introverted organ clasper is present near the pelvic fin. The Scoliodon are ovoviviparous, means they directly give birth to the young ones. So let's start and see male urinogenital system of Scoliodon. The male urinogenital system of Scoliodon is divided into two parts, excretory system and reproductive system. First of all, we discuss about the excretory system. Excretory system is the system which removes the nitrogenous waste material from the body. In the case of vertebrates, the excretory organ consists of a pair of kidney. In the case of Scoliodon, it is mesonephric type. This kidney is ribbon-like structure and it is attached to the dorsal body wall. And it nearly extends whole length of the body cavity. This kidney is divided into two parts, anterior kidney and posterior kidney. The anterior kidney is non-functional and the posterior kidney is functional. This anterior kidney having the ducts of male reproductive system, that is vas deferens. So it's non-functional and do not participate in the excretion. But the posterior kidney is the functional kidney and it is opisthonephric type. This posterior kidney having uriniferous tubules. This uriniferous tubules having the bunch of capillaries called as glomerulus and a C-shaped Bowman capsule, which is extended to form a tubule, which contain urea secretory cells. This tubule joined to form a collecting duct. All the collecting duct of the uriniferous tubules joined to form ureter. This ureter come down and join open into urinogenital sinus. This urinogenital sinus open into cloaca in urinogenital papilla. So in the case of excretory system of Scoliodon, the anterior kidney having the duct of reproductive system. So the excretory system is associated with the reproductive system, and that's why we study both this topic together in male urinogenital system. If we talk about the Scoliodon is ureotelic, means the main nitrogenous waste material is urea in the case of Scoliodon. If we talk about the reproductive system in Scoliodon, the reproductive system consists of gonads called as testes. So there is a pair of testes. This testis, it attaches to the body wall by double fold of peritoneum called as mesoarchium and supported by rectal gland, which is non-glandular. These testes are the factory of male gametes, spermatozoa. They contain seminiferous tubules, which synthesizes male gamete spermatozoa by reductional division meiosis. This testis extend above to form vas differentia. This vas differentia form vas deferens or Wolfram duct, which is present in the anterior kidney. This Wolfram duct or vas deferens come down and near the posterior kidney they form a extended structure, a swollen structure called as seminal vesicle. This seminal vesicle store the spermatozoa, and this vas efferentia and vas deferens secretes nutritional fluid for the spermatozoa. The seminal vesicles open into the introverted organ called as clasper. This clasper having apopyle and hypopyle. And this clasper, which is the introverted organ of Scoliodon, it is present near the pelvic fin. This clasper deposits the spermatozoa in the cloaca of the female. There is one more structure called sperm sac of unknown function. So, in the male reproductive system of Scoliodon consists of a pair of testes, which is the male gonad, and it is called as a factory of the sperms or spermatozoa. It synthesizes the male gamete by meiosis, and the process is called as spermatogenesis. After the formation, the sperms goes to vasa efferentia and then vas deferens, and then go to seminal vesicle where they are stored. The function of the seminal vesicle is to store the sperms or the spermatozoa, and this vasa efferentia and vas deferens, they secretes the nutritive fluid for the spermatozoa. And this clasper, which is the intromitted organ in the case of Scoliodon, is used to transfer the male gamete into the cloaca of the female. If we see the female reproductive system of Scoliodon, and if we first of all discuss the excretory system, here also it consists of a pair of kidney. This kidney again divided into two parts, anterior kidney and posterior kidney. This anterior kidney in the case of female reproductive system do not having the duct of reproductive system, and that's why here we are discussing about female reproductive system, because the anterior kidney do not have the duct of reproductive system of female, but the anterior kidney here is also non-functional, it is reduced, and the anterior and the posterior kidney is the functional kidney. Here we can see it contains uriniferous tubules and the structure is same as we have discussed in the case of male. And this uriniferous tubules is open to this ureter. This ureter come down and join to form a common duct, and this common duct open into the urinary papilla. If we talk about the reproductive system in female, the reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, which is the female gonad. This ovaries is attached to the body wall by double fold of peritoneum called as mesovarium. In the case of male it is mesoarchium, and in the case of female it is mesovarium. This ovary is supported by this epigonal organ. Epigonal organ supports this ovary. Above the ovary there are oviducal funnel. These are the oviducal funnel, which are funnel like structure or open mouth like structure. This oviducal funnel come down to form oviduct. This oviduct extend and form a swollen structure called as shell gland. This shell gland come down and form a swollen structure called as uterus. And this uterus come down, and both the uterus join to form a common duct which open into the vagina, and vagina open into the cloaca. The first part in the female reproductive system are a pair of ovaries. This ovaries, which is called as a female gonad, produce the female gametes called as egg or ova by the process of oogenesis. So here we can see in the slide that there are eggs or ova, which is produced by the process of oogenesis. That is again by the reduction division meiosis. This ovary releases the eggs. That egg come to the body cavity, and there are oviducal funnel, which is open mouth like a structure. The oviducal funnel, which is the second part, having cilia, and the beating of cilia attract the egg inside this oviducal funnel. So this egg comes inside this oviducal funnel, and it start its journey down the oviducal funnel to the oviduct, which is the third part. So this egg, the function of the oviducal funnel is to collect the egg, which is released by the ovary in the body cavity, and this egg collected from this oviductal funnel come down to oviduct and then to shell gland. The fertilization takes place between this oviductal funnel and the shell gland. Means here the fertilization takes place. Fertilization means the union of the male and female gamete is called as a fertilization. So the fertilization takes place between this oviductal funnel and the shell gland. The shell gland secretes a thin membranous lining over the fertilized egg. Then the egg come down, the fertilized egg come down, and now it called it as a zygote. It come down and it get implanted in the uterus. And this both uterus. So in uterus, implantation and development of the embryo takes place. As this Scoliodon is ovoviviparous, the development of the embryo takes place inside the body of the female, and the female directly gives birth to the young ones. And this uterus, they join, both the uterus, they join to form a common uterus which open to the urinary papilla, which open to vagina, and vagina open to the cloaca. If we talk about a reproductive system in a comparatively study, means if we compare both the male and female reproductive system in the case of Scoliodon, what is the difference is that in the case of male, the anterior kidney holds the duct of reproductive system, and that's why we have studied male urinogenital system. In the case of female, the anterior kidney do not have the duct of reproductive system. That's why we have studied female reproductive system. This is the first very important difference we find between the male urinogenital system and the female reproductive system in Scoliodon. The second important difference, if we see this ureter, in the case of male, the ureter, both the ureter, a pair of ureter is there, they both open separately into urinogenital sinus. But in the case of female, both the ureter, they get joined to form a common duct, and this common duct open into the urinary papilla. So these are the difference between the male urinogenital system and the female reproductive system of Scoliodon. And the Scoliodon is ovoviviparous, means it's directly given to the young ones, and it forms a yolk sac placenta. This yolk sac placenta we are going to discuss in detail in our next video. So thank you. The references which I used is Modern Textbook of Zoology, Vertebrates by R.L. Kotpal, and Chordate Zoology by E.L. Jordan. So thank you very much for watching this video.